Hello, everyone. Welcome to Passport Boys Podcast, Episode 7. My name is Sebastian, and I'm here today with my boy Sean.
What's good?
Yeah, what's up, Sean? How you been?
Doing pretty well, man. How about yourself?
Yeah, I'm doing all right. Came back from all the grocery shopping and everything.
Dude, for
Yeah,
sure, dude.
all the duties of a man.
Yeah. Hey, man, I think we're missing someone today. Where's Oswaldo?
Yeah, yeah. I don't know where Osvaldo has been, but hope he's doing all right. But I'm pretty sure he's gonna join back in the next episode.
Yeah, for sure. He'll be back in the next episode.
Yeah. So,
So,
Sean, what are we doing today in this episode? I don't really know what we're doing.
all right, yeah. So basically, we're gonna be talking about Gen Z financial struggle. We will be reacting to three different videos and basically giving our thoughts on it. You ready? So
Okay,
this is gonna
okay.
be a reaction style podcast. So hopefully it's more interactive. Hopefully it's more fun. And yeah, we'll give you our thoughts on these videos. Hope you guys enjoy. Are you ready to react to the first one, Sebastian?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, let's do it. All right, man. Let's react to the first one.
You don't have to be an economist to know that the middle class salary is now $100,000. In 2019, $40,000 to $50,000 would buy you a middle class life. In 2024, it's 100 grand. Even if you look at my life, my wife and I bought a $400,000 home, which is the average home in America. We drive two Volkswagens, not BMWs. The payment total is $850. We do spend $1,000 a month on groceries. We eat healthy, whole foods. We make our coffee at home. We don't do Starbucks. We have a 401k, health insurance, car insurance, gas, cell phone. My wife does get her hair and nails done once a month. We go to date night every single Friday, but at like a local tavern or even Chili's for $100. And our bills, monthly bills, are $7,000 a month. And we have no credit cards, no student loans, and we don't have children. I can't imagine when people tell me that their daycare is $2,500 and their student loan is $500. I'm like, that would make our monthly bills $10,000. What? So the reason we keep bringing this up is that we don't want to see a repeat in the next 5 years of it going to 150 or 200,000 for the middle class. Like we're watching the middle class just be pushed right out. You don't have to be an
So that's basically the end of the first video. What do you think about that video, Sebastian? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, so yeah, the 100K as a middle class, and with all that struggle and all, it sounds really atrocious. Like, imagine the bottom 50%. Imagine their struggles if the middle class is suffering like that.
No,
Like,
definitely.
what do you think?
Definitely, yeah. I mean, I totally agree because it's kind of like outrageous that 100K salary and they're still struggling. Because when you look at that video again, clearly, like, right, he even explained that he had no student loan debt and he doesn't have any like credit card debt. He basically had no debt, but he
And he
still
has
like
no kids.
struggles. Yeah,
Yeah.
and he has no kids, so it's just basically him and his wife living a middle class life, and then they're still barely making through it. So I think it's
Yeah.
definitely ridiculous that Gen Z and millennials are struggling with these issues.
Yeah.
So
Imagine if
so
they have kids. Imagine how much daycare they would pay for.
no, yeah. I mean, like, I just do not know why this is the problem. Do you think it's because of inflation, or do you think it's because like the way? I think it's because like the wages stay the same, but inflation just keeps
Yeah, the
going up.
wages have been stagnant for a very long time, for like the last 10 years. It hasn't changed that much. I think it probably changed like $1 or less, like in every year. Whereas the
Exactly.
inflation, it rose by like $2 or like $3, like that.
No,
So
yeah,
it
definitely.
shouldn't be the case because not I mean, I don't know, like it shouldn't be right because inflation is like increased by three folds compared to the wages. And I feel like the wages should increase by at least like two-thirds of the inflation because how will people buy their groceries? How will you and I will buy groceries? How will we if we have kids, how are we gonna pay for daycare or how are we gonna put our kids to college when they're of that age? Like how are we gonna survive,
Yeah,
basically?
I mean, you make some good point because I mean, you did mention about daycare. Like, it reminded me of the guy in the video because he said that he didn't have kids. So imagine if he did have kids and he had to pay their daycare, then
Yeah.
it would be like way out of budget, even on the six
Yeah.
figure salary. And it's not even the six-figure salary that is the problem. It's also hard to find jobs that are six-figure salaries because the starting salary, the average one would be like what 60,000, 70,000. That would be
I feel like
considered
it's 30K.
Yeah,
Yeah,
even that
30,
too.
40K. It's even worse. Yeah.
Yeah, so you got this going on, and on top of that, like, people are also struggling to find like an entry level job. Because I know even people that just graduate out of college, they're still, working at warehouse jobs, and they're barely just making through it. So I just feel like it's kind of unfair that we went through all this studying in college, and we still can't find a decent paying job. So that's the thing I find a little unfair.
Yeah, and also in regards to the job wage, right? I feel
Hmm.
like the people who have been waiting for too long to get the entry job, like let's say, they've done a lot of internships, like 2 years at least
Mm,
worth of internships, and then they study like 4 years for their degree.
yeah,
They probably earn like $3 less than how much I do at the warehouse. Like think about
exactly.
that.
Yeah,
Plus the entry
exactly.
jobs, they require 2 years of experience. Like it makes no
Exactly.
sense, really.
Yeah. No,
Like
no, no. The
entry
thing,
jobs requiring experience, that makes no sense.
exactly.
Like it's
But
rigged. It's
it
hella
is
rigged.
rigged. Oh yeah, because
Yeah.
like I'm saying this entry level job, and then you need 5 years of experience. And I'm like, bro, I just graduated from college. And then on top
Yeah,
of that,
and
and then they have the audacity to say that, oh, sorry, you need a master's. And then when you actually get a master's, oh, sorry, we're not hiring. So that gets
yeah,
pretty frustrating at times too.
yeah. Also,
Because
you
like,
require masters for a job that pays $22 hourly. Like
exactly,
that's
it's
nothing. $22 is
exactly.
nothing for a master's. It should be
Yes.
at least 30.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
But I think that's definitely a problem that we definitely need to look into, and
yeah,
hopefully our government can do something about that, and hopefully people will actually wake up thinking
yeah.
that this is not normal.
Yeah, exactly. And
Yeah,
with regards to you talking about school, I'm actually super frustrated with how teachers back in my days would just say, "Oh, you just have to study. You don't have to play sports. You don't have to be
exactly.
that guy. You just have to
Yeah,
be good at science, good at maths, especially maths, which we now can tell is like pretty useless.
bro,
Like, what are we
exactly.
gonna do with trigonometry, with finances, like counting one, two, three, four,
Exactly.
five? Like, come
Yeah,
on, man."
no, I totally agree. And actually,
Have you played Monopoly, Sean? You
yes,
play Monopoly,
Monopoly.
yeah?
You know what this actually reminds me of? Being a Gen
What?
Z or a millennial feels like entering a really late Monopoly game with only two
That
hundred
was that
dollars to
was
our
what I
name.
was gonna say. How do you know that? What the hell?
Exactly, because I saw like a meme
Wow.
about that.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's
I think I watched the same meme too. Yeah, on my
yeah,
feed.
yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you think about that?
Wow.
What do you think about that logic right there? What do you
We
think about
truly
that
are
meme?
in the late game of Monopoly. We just entered into the late game. Like all the other corporations and everything, they own like much of the land, much of the groceries and everything, and they started to boost everything up. And then we just started to enter into the game. Because at
Exactly.
the time, because that's when we turned 18, and they're probably doing all this stuff for like 20 years. They're probably like 50, 60 years old or something. So they're way ahead of the game. We just couldn't enter.
Exactly.
You
And when,
they think you think we would enter the game at the age of 10? What are we gonna do at the age of 10? Play Fortnite. We can only play Fortnite at the age of 10. I'll play some Call
exactly.
of Duty. That's it. Like
Exactly.
what are we gonna play with finances? Only the best we can do is play Monopoly, right? Or
Right.
Life, Game of
What
Life.
this
Yeah.
made me realize, Sebastian? Instead of me
What?
becoming a second grader in the year 2008, I probably should have I probably should have bought a house during that time, during the financial crisis,
Honestly,
because I
man.
think the
Honestly.
houses were cheaper at the time. So instead of me being second grade watching Nickelodeon, I probably should have bought a
Mm-hmm.
house. But that's my fault apparently.
Yeah, it's your fault, Sean. Obviously,
Yeah,
right? Right? No, I'm just
exactly.
kidding.
So sorry for being a
I, you
second
know,
grader at 2000 during the 2008 financial crisis.
yeah, and also you boomers. I'm sorry that I was playing Fortnite or playing Call of Duty. I should have bought Bitcoin when it was $1 or something, or 0.0001 at some point.
Yeah, yeah,
Man, I could have been rich. Yeah, yeah. Sorry, guys.
yeah.
Sorry, older folks. Sorry.
Because when you take a look at like older generation, they have like the audacity to like, sometimes say that we're not working hard enough or that it's like our fault, even though they literally bought a house for like $5.
Yeah, like as if
So
we could do it. Yeah.
yeah. Actually, speaking of the 100K salary, would you say that this is one of the reasons why Gen Z still live with their parents? Because I'm noticing that's becoming more of a trend recently. It's like most Gen Z still live with parents.
Yeah, like speaking for myself, yeah, I still live with my parents because
Yeah, me too.
imagine if they threw us out, like if they threw us out at the age of 18, what are we gonna do? Like
Exactly.
what are we gonna do exactly?
Yeah,
Yeah,
even though we
we're gonna
work
be
and then go to
homeless,
school full
definitely.
time, yeah, even though we work
Yeah,
and go to school full time, we still can't we could still barely afford the rent in the apartment, or you probably have to
yeah,
get somewhere in the ghetto neighborhood.
yeah. Or we should like rent a car or something. We can't buy a car because we didn't have anything. My bank account at the time was only like $500 when I was 18.
Hey,
So
I mean, at least you still got some money to your name. Hey, it's like
yeah.
it's like these boomers, they have all these houses and hotel, referring back to the Monopoly reference. And then here we
Mm-hmm.
are, Gen Z millennial. We're not buying property. We're just going on the go, collecting our paycheck. So collecting our
Yeah,
paycheck is equivalent to passing the go, collecting our $200. But that, because we
yeah,
don't have
exactly.
enough money to invest.
Yeah, nothing. Like those $200, they're nothing for the rent that we're gonna end up at the hotel, which is like what, $1,000 at Illinois
Exactly.
Avenue or some shit.
But yeah, that's how we feel about the 100K salary being middle class. It's just that we feel it's outrageous because six figure back then, you're literally you literally made it in life, but now it's basically nothing.
Yeah,
You
I
you, you
thought
could
like
barely scrape
even
by.
5 years ago, I thought 100K was enough, but that's not
Yeah,
the case. Six figures is nothing. You just need to do more than just the six figures, and like, well,
yeah.
less than the seven figures. Maybe like I feel like right now, 200K should be good. Like you and your wife, or your partner, like
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
two
and
two
then
hundred
you
k,
also,
it should be enough.
yeah, yeah, and you also get the tax benefit because I think like I heard that if you're like married, there's like a tax deduction or you pay less taxes, so that helps a lot too.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like I've
Yeah.
been getting taxed a lot at my job compared to the people who are married or who
Yeah,
who are
unless
old.
you marry the wrong girl and then she divorced you and then you have to give half your assets. But
Yeah,
that's for
and
another
then you gotta
topic.
pay for child support and everything.
That's
But
right.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's like a different topic for the next
that's a
episode.
different topic. But anyway,
Yeah.
any other thoughts about
So,
the 100K salary?
hmm. I feel like the governments they should put in more regulations on corporations. And okay, this is a strong take, but I seriously dislike lobbying. You know what lobbying is, right?
Heard of it, but please explain to the audience that haven't heard of it.
Okay, so to those who don't know what lobbying is basically corporations or big businesses having the money to elect officials into the
Oh
Congress
yeah,
or
yeah. They're basically buying the
yeah,
government.
so they have the power. Yeah, basically. So they have substantial power in the Congress and the government. So they can bend the government to their will, basically.
Yeah,
So that's
and
why I
then
strongly oppose corporations because corporations nowadays they care about profits and not the
exactly.
hearts of the people. So
And then
yeah.
politician always scared to like listen to the middle class because if they listen to the middle class, then they're not gonna get any more donors anymore from the big corporations because they will lose the support and they
Exactly.
won't get any financial support from them anymore. So that's
Yeah,
why
they need to
I
fund their
think
campaign. Exactly. Yeah.
yeah, I think that's why the middle class is struggling because they're not able to buy out these politicians like the corporation, like these compared to the big corporation, which is why the
Mm,
class is always getting crushed in the middle.
yeah, exactly. Middle class
Yeah,
is like it's the worst state to be in the United States or maybe in
it
other
is.
world countries. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't speak for other world, but especially in the United States, is not really the best here.
Yes.
Any other thoughts?
So that's all I have to say about the first episode. What about you, man?
Uh, yeah, that's all I have to say for the first video as well. We want to watch the second video.
Yeah, that's it.
All right, let me do this.
Worker made a video where she was crying about how exhausting it is to work a 40-hour work week and only be paid $2,000 a month. She's since deleted the video, but not before others could stitch and duet the video talking about how she's simply exhausted and barely able to get by. Not only does this woman feel trapped in a toxic cycle of working just to pay the bills, but she's also losing her identity and sacrificing her well-being in the process. Gen Zers were urged to go to college, build career goals, and save money. But even after doing all of that, we're still struggling. Some people still ridiculed this woman, arguing that everybody's struggling and it's just part of being an adult. But at what point should everybody step back and consider that this isn't normal? Instead of trying so hard to normalize it for other younger workers, stagnant wages are a universal problem affecting professionals at all stages of their careers. And living paycheck to paycheck is the norm when it shouldn't be. Many younger workers are frustrated that they'll never be able to purchase a car or a home or have children in a financially stable position. They're also frustrated with toxic 40-hour-a-week work culture. They're overworked, undercompensated, and desperate. A 2024 Wallet Hub survey found that 25% of Gen Zers are struggling to maintain financial stability and lack basic saving and investing knowledge. And it's not just overwhelming student loans, low-paying entry-level jobs, and a staggeringly disappointing job market, but it's also rising rent costs. Average rent costs were $850 in the early 2000s, but now single postgraduate Gen Z workers pay an estimated $1,800 for the same one-bedroom spaces. So no, Gen Z workers aren't lazy. They simply don't make enough money to survive while also dealing with people who are telling them that it's their fault.
Honestly, that is definitely a strong take right there. Is it cool if I go
Yeah.
first on that?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. So basically, in the video, the guy basically rant about how this girl was complaining about a 40-hour work week, and then how even though working those full 40 hours week is still not enough to like pay for basic utility, or they still struggle with basic utilities. Honestly, my take is simple because like if they're working full time, the full 40 hours, they shouldn't have to struggle. Like it's not right because they still
Yeah, it's not
paying
right
for
at all. No.
exactly. Yeah. And then also I do agree that the 40-hour work week is also outdated because when you look at like other countries like European country, I know South Korea is currently wanting to switch over to 4-day work week, that it increases more into productivity. Like and employees are a lot more happier in a 4-day work week. Like they're actually more productive working 4 days compared to the 5 days. Because let's be honest, on Fridays, no one actually worked. Everyone's already mentally exhausted. That they're physically,
Yeah,
but
exactly.
mentally they're not there. So this is
Yeah.
why I strongly support that we do need a 4-day system, a 4-day workday system. What do you think, Seabass?
Yeah,
What do you think?
I strongly dislike the 5-day, 8-hour week session because the work
Yeah.
that I'm doing right now at Amazon, it's strictly on 40 hours for 4 days. So we only work like 10 hours. So we
Yeah.
get to have 3 days off. So we're already kind of exhausted on the fourth day, but I feel like it's so much better if we like have a fifth day, for 8 hours, because
Yeah.
there's recently a warehouse that is open like near me at Amazon, which offers 5 days for 8 hours, and only a minute number of people went there just because they didn't want to work 5 days instead of four. They're
No.
really used to the 3 days.
Yeah.
And I
That
feel like
no.
3 days off is so much better than having less hours reduced, like reduced hours, but over a span of 5 days. I feel like it's a no-brainer deal. Yeah,
Exactly. Yeah. And I know
that's my opinion.
especially.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, I think a lot of people agree because like I know you're working in the Amazon like warehouse. Like you're probably working like physical jobs. So sometimes like your
Mm-hmm.
body like needs that extra day of rest, especially if you're working
Yeah.
a hard labor
Yeah.
job
On
like
top of
that.
that, you obviously have to take like 10,000 steps per day. Sometimes you could do 20,000, and on at least once a week, if you get to do specific roles, there are specific roles that make you do 30 to 40,000 steps. My highest at the warehouse was 45,000 steps. And after that, I got blisters all over my feet and everything, but it was worth
Yeah.
it. I got like a really nice, good night's
Oh,
rest.
they better. They
It
better
hit.
pay you good. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
They,
and it pays. For starting, like what Amazon offers, it's so much better than what fast food does. Well, California is different, but other states, fast food is like so much less powerful wage wise compared to Amazon. I feel like
Mm,
everyone over the age of 18, they should start on Amazon and get some experience
mm-hmm.
because they also have really good benefits. So I feel like they should get into the warehouse, do a job over there, and then they could also do their degrees with Amazon because Amazon has these programs where they have specific list of colleges in their system where it gives you tuition, like covers your tuition. So
That's
I feel
right.
like it's a
Yeah.
no-brainer deal.
Mm. Because that's what you're doing right now, right? Like I know you're working at
Yeah,
Amazon, so
exactly.
they help pay.
Yeah.
So if I may ask, in terms of the financial side of that, do they pay fully for the tuition, or how does that system work? Because like, if I want
Uh,
Amazon to pay for my college, how would that work? If that's okay, me asking.
um, they don't pay the whole tuition cost. They pay at least like 5,000. Yeah,
5,000. That's still pretty good
yeah,
because
which
I
is still
know
very good. It pays
it's
like
very
half
good.
the year, basically.
Oh yeah.
Like in
Wait.
some cases, yeah, or
Yeah. Sorry to
maybe full. Yeah,
Mm. So sorry to clarify that. Is it 5,000 per year or 5,000 per semester?
per year.
Per year. Okay, 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 okay. Yeah, so that would be definitely a half because I know some like Cal States would be like 4,000 per semester. So you basically got a
Mm-hmm.
semester for free if you think about it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what
so
I'm
that's
doing
pretty
right
good.
now.
Yeah. So do they keep doing it until you're not no longer a student anymore, or um do they give you
Yeah,
like a 4 year
basically, yeah.
plan, or how does that system work?
No, like as long as you're enrolled in Amazon and as long as you're enrolled in the school, you're fine.
Mm. Oh, cool, cool. So, is there like a certain hours required that I have to work in Amazon to get that benefit, or can I just work part time in Amazon?
Yes,
And
yes.
so, how does that
At least
work?
30 hours.
Oh, 30 hours a
At
week.
least 30 hours you should work, yeah. And
Okay,
you
yeah.
should be enrolled as a full-time student.
Okay, so I can't be like a full time student and work 1 hour at Amazon just to get the
No, actually,
benefit.
not full-time, sorry, student,
Oh,
my
sorry.
bad.
Okay.
Full-time employee. You can ask for
Oh, full time.
accommodation to
Okay.
work 30 hours instead. You
Mm,
get
I
one
see.
day
I see.
off or like whatever, yada yada.
Okay,
And
yeah. So
you
it's
could
not
be a
like a.
part-time student or a full-time student. It depends.
Okay, okay.
Depends on the situation. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, yeah, I think that's definitely a one of the benefit thing about working in Amazon, especially when
Mm-hmm.
Gen Z is like especially struggling with financial crisis. So I'll give Amazon
Yeah.
credit for that. Despite all of the others stuff and story I hear from Amazon,
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
give them that.
There's been a lot of controversy behind that,
Yeah,
and I was super scared before I first joining there, but when I joined there, it isn't as bad as how people say because I
yeah.
feel like people when they get into jobs they don't like, they over exaggerate a lot. Like
Okay.
I also have fast food experience and sometimes catch myself over exaggerating a lot of things.
I see. So
Like but when I take a glimpse of the past, I feel like everything was okay. Like it was
okay.
manageable. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's definitely good to hear then. So hey, if anyone want to work at Amazon, I guess there you go. That's the experience. I also know how also this person in this video talk about like working like a toxic job for 40 hours. So I'm curious, would you say that Amazon is a toxic workplace environment or like
It
in terms of
depends
like
on what you
manager?
do over there. Sometimes, if you make a lot of friends over there and then you create some drama, of course it's gonna be toxic, right?
Of course.
Yeah. That's why most people at Amazon they tend to stay quiet, and just do their job.
Headphones in, don't bug me. Just do my
Yeah,
task.
don't bug me. Exactly, yeah. Just doing my job, just packing
Exactly.
boxes.
No, yeah, definitely.
Well, I respect that actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
Although it
So
could be boring, I respect it. Yeah.
I
Just do your
respect it. It's
max.
hard work. It's definitely hard work, and you got to do it for the benefit. But
Yeah.
overall, I feel like this video just talks about the long work day. But that's basically my
Yeah.
final take on it. Is I think we should be open minded to adapting to a 4 day work day because I feel like
Mm-hmm.
that can increase more in productivity and yeah, and I mean a lot of other European country and also Asia country are starting to see that too. So I mean that could be a change in the future.
Hopefully, yeah.
That's
Because I
basically my
don't think
final
people
take on it.
should work most of their lives, like
Yeah.
I
Okay.
mean it
So.
has been throughout the centuries, like people
Mhm.
like if you take a lifespan of a person, 60 to 70% of their lifespan is basically work. And then
Exactly.
okay, the first start is like development, being a kid. And then this is your work, and this is a little bit of your retirement. Or maybe no retirement, who knows?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And American live to work, but other country like European country, they work to live. That's basically
Yeah,
the
exactly.
difference
Yeah.
because we basically live to be working a lot on long hours, but European they basically
Yeah.
work and then they just like and then they have like that work life balance basically. They get to enjoy life. Because
Yeah.
if you notice right here in America, when you meet someone new, they always ask, "Oh, what do you do for work?" Right? And then that's basically your
Yeah.
status. But in like European countries, they, from what I've heard from other people, is that they don't really ask that. They just like that's one of the questions that
Yeah.
they don't really ask when meeting someone new.
Yeah. Good point. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's basically another example that shows you that America
Yeah.
live to work, but European they work to live.
Yeah. In America, it's so screwed up to the point where you can't even say this phrase where you're like, in America, you work to survive, and in
Yeah,
Europe, you work to live. You don't even work here to
exactly.
survive. You're here to work.
So we're basically
It's that
slaves
bad.
here. So basically, this
Exactly.
country we're
Yeah.
basically slaves at this point.
Yeah.
And also, there's also something I want to include is the PTO because, like, I feel like the PTO here in America is really low compared to like a PTO in Europe because like European always makes fun of Americans saying, "Oh wow, you only get 2 weeks of PTO. I have like a full like 3 months or something." So
Yeah. It's crazy, man.
so that's the crazy
Yeah.
part is that like we don't get as much PTO compared to like European countries.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Over
what do you?
here, you could get at max 1 week of PTO.
Yeah, yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. And also like
See?
when the mother gives like childbirth, I hear like in the US it's like a lot less days compared to like European country. Because I know in
Yeah.
European country like they don't work for a year if they're going to child labor or something like that. That's it's
Really.
I'm
One
probably
year.
I'm probably over exaggerating on that, but I know it's definitely a lot longer than here in the US.
I feel like 1 year is like really good, because a child
Yeah,
really needs their mother during its initial development stages.
yeah, they need the mother and the father to be there
Yeah,
for the
exactly.
baby. Yeah, because
Whereas
in
over
here,
here, yeah, go ahead.
oh yeah, and then over here, even if the mother going to child labor, it feels like oh, it's guilt trip because you have to take days off. So that's just
Yeah,
the society
yeah,
pressure here in America, the work culture in America that oh, even though you're giving birth to a child, you should feel bad because you're not coming to work,
yeah.
basically. But
At
yeah,
max, you could take 1 week off for child labor, but after that, it's back to normal. Get back to work. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. So
as
I'll
far as I've seen,
hopefully
yeah,
yeah, hopefully the work culture here in America changes one day.
yeah, it should.
But
Honestly,
yeah.
that's
So
why America is number one. You know,
hey, yeah, I mean we have
economy
the
wise,
biggest economy,
except
so I
China.
mean yeah. So
Yeah,
yeah, I mean I guess that's the only benefit that benefits us is that we're pretty strong economically. So that's at least one thing that benefits
yeah,
us.
through hard work.
But I
Yeah,
mean, honestly, I value happiness.
honestly, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
So
want to, be another statistic, where a person, kills themselves, all this
yeah,
stuff.
and also
I don't
like
want to be another one.
identifying yourself to a job is also kind of depressing too. Like your job's your identity, basically.
Yeah, you're a
Yeah.
robot. You're like this.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
you're an NPC. No, I'm just kidding.
NPC. Yeah. Any other thoughts on that video right there?
I feel like, yeah. So I feel like, 40 hours of work, in a week, I feel like it's not substantial for a lot of people in the US.
Mm,
Because where I work, many people go to extents where they will work 50 hours a week or 60 hours
mm,
because they're very desperate for the money in order to
mm.
survive, basically.
Right.
Yeah, good. Like America, you're here to work. You're not here to live.
Exactly. So
Work to
people,
live. Yeah,
yeah. So people always take that overtime so they could, hopefully they can make the bills and stuff like that.
yeah, just to pay the bills, and not go on vacations. Like they don't even have the concept of having a vacation. It's that bad.
Exactly. Yeah. Man, imagine how
Mm,
life would be if, we prioritize more about mental health, taking days off because, as Gen Z,
yeah,
I think that's important. You got to take care of yourself first. You got to take care of your mental health first.
yeah.
Yeah.
Our mental health already is super bad because of the
Exactly.
pandemic and everything. Yeah,
Pandemic, financial struggles, and then all this
yeah.
stuff, all this
Late
trash
game
that's happening to us.
Monopoly,
Late game
Monopoly board
monopoly.
game.
It's basically late
Yeah,
stage capitalism.
yeah. Honestly, I feel like
But
the top 1% is getting closer and closer to acquiring 99% of the world's
yeah,
wealth.
it's crazy. It's crazy. That's why like the middle
Yeah,
class, like in the first video, is getting crushed because of that
yeah,
exact reason.
yeah. I feel like a whole revolution is gonna happen,
This,
man. What do you
yeah,
think?
man, this feels like a therapy session right now. This is great. We're letting out
Yeah,
our frustration on the system. So this is basically a therapy session about
yeah. Therapy
how,
session. Sean and Seabass doing our therapy 101.
yes, yes, we're ranting about the work life balance
Yeah,
and struggling financially. But
yeah. And also on top of that, you know how I said they go to some extent where they work 50 to 60 hours. Sometimes
yeah.
they want to work more than 60 hours, but in California, you're prohibited to work more than 60 hours in
Oh,
a
is it?
week.
Oh, is that
So
a law?
yeah, that's a lot.
Oh, I did not know that. Okay, that's good
And
to know.
and people, if the department like catches you, work more than 60 hours, you're gonna get ridden up.
Oh, I see. I
Yeah,
see. Okay. Yeah. No,
yeah,
yeah. I
it's
mean, those
crazy.
are some really interesting take right there. I didn't know that 60 hours is the limit, but hey, that's good to know. At least that is a step in the right direction, I would say. But even though like,
Yeah,
after work, people always have side hustle, people do Uber Eats, people have their own side business. So even though
yeah,
working
that's
those
what I'm
full
saying.
like
Yeah.
40-hour shift, like yeah, people are always like working more.
Yeah,
So
people have to
so
work more than 60 hours,
exactly.
That's how screwed up
Yeah, just
the
like
wages are, yeah.
exactly, just like why we're starting this podcast to hopefully one day can get
Mm,
us some extra revenue, you know?
yeah.
You
Yeah,
probably
so that we can
fin
travel the world, travel to Japan, get
exactly,
some
exactly.
Pokemon.
That's for bros. Honestly, I think that's basically my final thought on that video.
Yeah, that's all I have to say for the second video. Yeah.
All right, are you ready for the third one?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, last one is the third video. Ready, set, go.
Millennials and Gen Zers are kind of put in the same bucket when it comes to financial struggles, and the older Gen Zers and millennials are in the same bucket. The younger Gen Zers, you actually can look to us and not make the mistakes that we did. A lot of millennials, from what I'm reading, are burdened by the student loan debt that they have, that $400, $500, $600 a month payment, when their income with their degree isn't catching up in order for them to pay that off. And then they have credit cards, and people think credit cards are irresponsible. And some people overspend and get flat screens and purses and go on vacations and stuff. But a lot of people are using it for essentials, for groceries. Maybe a family member passed away and they had to fly somewhere, or someone got married, and it just all adds up. But that monthly college debt, that monthly credit card, that monthly car is what's really putting the pressure on top of these annoyingly high rent prices and housing prices. So if the younger Gen Zers can look at us, the millennials, we have this mountain to climb. And I just did this with my wife over the past 18 months and climbed out of debt. It's the best feeling in the world, but I know the sacrifice you have to make to accomplish that, but it is so worth it at the end of it. That's our hurdle. That's the millennials' hurdle, is getting out of debt. And younger Gen Zers, do not get in debt. If you're going to go to college, make sure you know what are you going to be paid with that degree and how long is it going to take to pay that debt off, so that you can
Exactly,
see
exactly.
how worth it
Mhm.
is, or to find a different path through community college for a couple years or a scholarship. But really, we have to sit down and be financially savvy these days, because there's no room for error.
Basically, what that guy said in that video is very valid because I know we did talk about
Hmm.
like the student loan debt and how like one of the reason why Gen Zs do struggle financially is because of debt, basically, especially student loan debt.
Yeah, and I've taken his word of advice saying that younger
Hmm.
Gen Z should, like focus on how the finances will work in their future, because when I graduated high school back in 2020, I really, really wanted to go to a really prestigious university, UCI.
Mm.
Yeah, I was actually dreaming about it because some of my cousins went there and everything, and they got good jobs, with their degrees and everything. But when the pandemic hit, and then when I got to listen to millennials and older Gen Z talk about how they struggle with they have struggled with their finances,
Mm.
I was like, you know what, I can be in debt. I shouldn't be in debt. So
Yeah.
so I decided to go to community college and just do work and then just study there, because I feel like the college degree you get from community college is the same as what you get in a prestigious university, because at
Mm.
community college you could like prep more for the
Mm-hmm.
major, and then you could like transfer to that
Mm-hmm.
prestigious university, or like some other university which was cheaper. I feel
Mm-hmm.
like that was the key to saving a lot more money. So you could like reduce your student loan debt by half of what you would pay initially.
Yeah, no, exactly what you said is definitely valid because I know that like people they want to go to like these prestigious colleges, but it's gonna affect them in the long run because then they have
Mm-hmm.
all this debt that they have to pay back. Because I've heard that there's some story that there's like some woman uh or man and woman that are probably still like 40s, 50s, they're still paying off their student loan debt, and
Yeah.
that just cannot be me. That just cannot be
Yeah, me
me
neither, man.
because it's just
Hell
not worth
no.
it. Yeah, sure, you go to a prestigious school, but like if at the end of the day you're still paying off these debt many years later, it's just not gonna
Yeah,
be worth it in the long run. And then I
exactly,
hate how
man.
like
Hell
uh the US system is also justifying this system saying, "Oh, you want an education, so you have to be in debt for this many years." So I hate how like the US system is also kind of like making it seem like it's normal, you know?
no. Mm-hmm.
It's like it's
Yeah,
normal to be in student loan debt and it's normal to struggle. And so it's just like really crazy to me. Because like when you look at
yeah.
like again, I'm gonna compare us to like Europe. So because if you look at like countries like Germany or like Norway and all those and like Sweden, I've heard that like they get like free college or they're not as expensive as they are in here in the US.
Mm.
So
Yeah,
that's
I heard a lot
just
about Finland too, right?
yeah, Finland.
Or
So
is
all
it
those
Finland?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So all those country they invest a lot of their money into education. So that's why they're able to like afford that free college system, which I think is a
Mm.
better investment here rather than funding wars that we probably shouldn't be in. So
Yeah.
instead of funding wars, we should be investing more onto education, in my opinion. Something more useful, right?
Honestly, why is the US so involved with international affairs so much?
Exactly.
Like,
Like
why?
I just want an education, man. Uh,
Yeah.
I just want guaranteed healthcare, but that could be for another video, the
I mean,
healthcare
I
part.
mean, I
But
could get it with the trades and everything, but other
exactly,
than that,
yeah,
like, why?
exactly, yeah, yeah. It's just that
Yeah, I don't
that
want to
that's
pay
basically
most
the
of my tax for a war, man. Like, come on.
exactly
Just because
because
you guys are friends doesn't mean that I have to pay more.
I am not
Yeah.
funding the government beef with another different country government. So we're basically funding because they have beef with each other, basically. Our
Yeah.
government
Like,
have beef with other
wow.
people, so that's basically what we're paying for. If I really think about it,
Bro, I
but
just want to eat 100 pieces of Popeyes, bro. I don't want
yeah, for
to
for me
buy
it's like
like
this.
10 only.
Yeah, for me it's like this, right? I don't mind paying a higher tax if I know that I will get free college or if I know that money is going to benefit. Yeah, like free college or like making the interest rate go zero or capping the interest rate of student loan debt
Hmm.
to a lower percentage. But that's just
Okay,
me.
so here's one thing. So I like the idea that you got there, like
Yeah.
you're being empathetic,
Yeah.
towards us, like and all, but I feel like if we put the zero interest on the loans and everything, I feel like getting a college degree would be worthless. I know it's
I see.
already like a little worthless, like compared to,
Mm,
back in the 60s, 70s.
right.
But I feel
Mm-hmm.
like if we reduce the interest rates to zero, like no interest rates at all, I feel like it's gonna be worthless because everyone
Mm, go
can
to
freely,
college.
get in, it's more
Okay.
easily accessible.
Easily accessible.
And
Yeah.
if something is like distributed to like everyone around the world, I feel like it's not gonna be as valuable at all,
I
like it
see.
will lose its value.
I
I'll
see.
give you this analogy. If everyone can get a Lamborghini for
Mm,
free,
yeah.
then imagine the price of the Lamborghini. It's gonna
Mm,
depreciate a lot, right?
right,
Like
right.
after it's been free, like it won't be at its 200K, price
Mm,
tag and everything, one
right.
million dollar price tag. It's gonna be like 20,000.
I see. Okay.
Yeah, it's gonna
Yeah, I
be
mean,
like
I can.
less than the freaking Toyota, man.
I see what you
If you
mean.
think
So
about it, yeah.
yeah, so I guess like with that argument, would you say in a way that high school diploma would be kind of useless in that case because that mean everyone can go to a free public high school, right? So would you also say that's kind of the same thing then?
I feel like it's so useless.
Yeah.
Like it's so easy to get. It's really useless. Like when I graduated from high school, I didn't get the excitement. I didn't get the hype of
Mm,
me graduating because
yeah.
almost everybody graduates with a high school diploma.
If you think about it,
So
all you have
why
to do
I
is
should
show
be
up in high
happy?
school. All you have to do is show
Yeah,
up if I think about it.
show up, and just pass. Try to pass. Get like
Yeah,
60% on everything, which is really
I
easy
see.
to do in America. Really,
Yeah.
really easy.
It is
It's
really easy,
even
yeah.
easy to get C's. Yeah.
It is, yeah.
So
I mean,
I feel like everybody here can get a diploma, unless you're in a yeah
unless you just like actually tried to not make it in high school, so that's a different
yeah
story though. Yeah,
yeah
but moving on to or going back to the topic about the student loan debt and all that. Um, would you say that like there should be like at least a system where we shouldn't punish kid that wants to be like doctor or lawyer that we because we of course we need them. So do you think it would be beneficial we invest in those careers like so that
yeah
they
I
don't have to
agree.
like spend like because so that way we don't have to they don't have to like spend a lot of money on this tuition because
Yeah,
we actually do need doctor,
because
we need lawyer, we need engineers, so we shouldn't punish those kids that actually want the degree to have them
yeah
pay
because
a high
yeah
amount of tuition.
yeah because when I was younger, I really wanted to be a doctor. Help
Oh
people
wow.
out.
Hey, good for
Cure
you.
sicknesses and everything. But af- after learning the financial situation, everyone feels.
Mm,
The rising inflation cost, the student loan debts, and everything. I didn't want to be a doctor anymore. And then I kept switching majors, a lot of them, to the
that's right,
point
you did
where
switch
I
major.
took gap, yeah, to the point where I took some gap semesters, and I was going super slow with college. I was just doing generals, and now I can confirm, I can fully confirm 100% this time. I won't change my major again. That I'll be doing engineering. I'll
Yeah.
be doing computer
Okay,
engineering.
that's
Yeah.
awesome, man.
I
Hey,
feel
good
like
for you, I'm happy for
that's
you.
good.
Mad
Thank
respect,
you, man.
man.
Yeah,
I know
I'm very
that's
grateful
really
for
hard.
myself too. Yeah,
Yeah,
very
man.
grateful for
You definitely
myself.
work
Yeah,
for hard. Of course. I
yeah,
mean, I know that you probably in those time when you were changing major, you probably had an identity crisis of what you want to do. Did you ever felt that?
yeah. True. Yeah, I didn't know
Yeah.
what to do. I didn't know how the financial situation would be like.
Yeah.
Because I had that in my mind. Also, at the same time, I I was like clearing my passions and everything, refining my passion over and over, like an
Mm-hmm.
onion, like peeling the layers of an onion. I was doing that with my passion, like
Exactly. Yeah.
what I would do in the future. So I decided
Mm.
computer engineering because I like tech, I like
You
technology
like
and everything.
computers.
And I feel like computers are gonna be significantly developed in the
Mm.
next 10 years,
Exactly. Yeah.
since we're looking at the rise of AI and everything,
The rise
to
of
the point where
AI.
it's like actually really scary. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Not many
I feel like
people know this about me, but I actually started taking classes in community college about AIs.
oh okay,
Because I feel like that is the future. So I started to wanted to take class to learn more about it because I feel like
Mhm.
nowadays, like when like you need to keep up with the trend, and the trend right now is AI. So that's why, like, I feel like I need to be on top of my game too to like understand what is going on. And hopefully, it can
Yeah,
benefit me too in the future. But yeah,
yeah. I
so
feel like in the next 10 years, everyone should know how to code, like at least one language. Like
I think
should have
I think by
the
that time,
idea like school should, put a class, programming class, so that
exactly,
everyone can have the knowledge to,
exactly,
live
and
their own life in the futuristic world or something.
yeah, that actually kind of brings me back to my point about struggling, Gen Z struggling. Would you say that we lack financial education in school, which is why we also struggle financially because we didn't really get that taught in school as much? Like, do
Yeah,
you think
unless you have a really good financial teacher, like economics teacher,
if you
because
have a good
even
economics teacher,
the
yeah,
yeah, because even the economics teachers say that, oh, they don't teach you that much in high school, so don't worry, kids, I'll tell you what to do. And that's what
yeah,
we both had in high school, right? Yeah,
I would say my economic teacher's really good. I mean,
yeah, same
they
here.
talk about like the real life stuff, but I feel like it should be heavily more emphasis, like all 4 years of high school, talking about like
Mm,
basic finance, like instead of
that is true.
just
Yeah,
senior year. So I think we definitely need to
yeah.
put more financial studies and financial classes in these high school classes because I think one of the reasons that Gen Z do struggle financially is because we're not being taught in school as much as we should, and we're not really talking a lot about this
Hmm.
topic. We're always learning about useless
Yeah.
stuff like Shakespeare, quadratic formula. They always emphasize that, but they never emphasize on on how to like finance your money and save on how to do real
Mm,
estate and all that. So that's
yeah,
one of the criticism I have for the education system.
yeah. But hey, we gotta read Romeo and Juliet, right?
Eh, yay. You know, what what can I do without that?
Yeah, what can we do, man? What can we
Yeah.
do?
Man, my life would be a mess if I never knew that story. Am I right?
Yeah,
My life
yeah.
would be
My
a
life
mess.
would be a mess if I didn't know trigonometry, or if I
Exactly,
didn't know
exactly.
I don't know what's the most
Great
useless
job.
thing taught in school. Uh,
Calculus is hard, but I never find it useful.
yeah, unless you're engineering.
Unless you're
Yeah,
engineer, yes. Unless you're
unless you're
engineer,
an
yes.
engineer.
That's different.
Yeah, but other than
Yeah,
that, why are you taking calculus?
exactly. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
crazy to me that
You want to take the derivative of your cabinet or something, derivative of your money,
it's
that,
crazy.
like
Yeah.
you see how
And
much sense that makes? Yeah.
exactly. And then sometimes we're also like taking these elective that doesn't benefit us as well. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's some good electives in high school, but I think we should have more elective that focus more about like real life, how to do real estate, how to do stock market. I think that would be really beneficial if we have those kind of elective in school.
Mm.
Yeah, that's basically my final thought on that video. Do you have anything else to add?
No, not really. I'm done.
Okay. Awesome. You want me to end the episode?
Yeah, sure.
All right. All right, everyone. Thanks for watching. That's basically our thoughts about Gen Z struggling financially. Please be sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next episode. Peace.
See ya.